Hi everyone, my name is Abby and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review of Gothenburg, its accessibility for people in wheelchairs and with other types of disabilities. I went there about 3 weeks ago for the Christmas market at the Liseberg theme park, so I'll be doing a little bit on that as well. Let's get on with the video. So number one, getting to Gothenburg. How do you travel there? You can probably get there a few ways. You could probably get a ferry or drive and then get a ferry, but the easiest way to get to Gothenburg is definitely to fly. You can fly from lots of different airports. There are 2 airports in Gothenburg. It goes from airports like Heathrow and Gatwick. We went from Heathrow with British Airways. We also went on a British Airways holiday. I will get to a bit more in depth about that in a minute. We went with British Airways from London Heathrow because we're not very far from it, and it's really easy airport as the assistance there is great. I find that British Airways are a great airline to fly with a disability, and you can also usually 9 times out of 10 roll down a jet bridge to the plane, which is a lot easier than using a ambulift. Number 2, accommodation. Accommodation in Gothenburg, there are obviously lots of different options. You can be in a hotel, an apartment, a house, an Airbnb. We're booking ours with British Airways as part of a British Airways holiday, and so we chose to stay in a hotel. We had 2 options in hotel. One of them was a more modern one outside of the city, or one of them was an older one inside the city. In retrospect, we chose the one in the city that was older. That was probably a mistake because it wasn't very accessible at all. British Airways do not provide any accessibility information on their website, and so you do have to find that out yourself. So say they give you a hotel that you can stay in for a good price with the flights. You then need to go on Google, booking.com or Trivago and look and see if that is an accessible hotel and if they do have accessible rooms. You can then, when you book that hotel with British Airways, you can then specify that you'd like accessible room and they will usually get one for you. So we stayed in the Hotel Elite Plaza, but for me the biggest issues with it is that there was steps at the front, so I had to go around the back every time I wanted to get in because they had a ramp there for me. And that also meant the back door was always locked, so someone always had to go in the front, walk down to the back to let me in, which was kind of an effort and a bit of a faff. For me, it was easy to get into the hotel because I had 11 people to help me. The other thing is that the rooms did not have an accessible bathroom, which they gave me a stall for the shower, but there was no built-in stall, there were no grab rails, and there was no emergency pull cord. So if you need those things, the hotel's not very good that I stayed in. Definitely looking on TripAdvisor, Google, booking.com and Trivago, you can definitely find a hotel that suits your needs and then book it through British Airways. So you can definitely book a holiday with British Airways if you're in a wheelchair. Number 3, the Liseberg market. We decided to go to Gothenburg, one reason because the price was very good, the other reason being that we were going to the Liseberg markets because this article stated that it was the best Christmas market in Europe. Going to Liseberg, it is a theme park in the centre of Gothenburg, so you do actually have to buy tickets to get into it. They are about £11–12 to get into the theme park. That is just to explore with looking at all the stalls with the Christmas market. To go on any ride, you have to buy what's called a ride pass, which is about £25, £24.50, £25, and that allows you to go on the rides. There are 4 main roller coasters, and if you are a wheelchair user and cannot walk, I would not recommend buying the ride pass. You do get a free carer ticket as with most theme parks, but I would not recommend riding the ride pass. What I would recommend you do is buy an entrance pass and then buy individual passes for rides that you can and want to go. Out of the 4 major rides, one of them was shut for maintenance all winter. That was one I could go on apparently, which is what I told. The second one I wanted to go on, I couldn't go on because I had to be able to walk from my chair onto the ride, which then somehow told them that I would be able to walk down the 124 steps if the ride broke down. Does that make sense to you? Because it doesn't to me. And then the other one was a wooden roller coaster, which is the only actual roller coaster I went on. And then the other one was a claw ride, which was good, but a lot of people wouldn't like it. So they were the main 4 rides. And the wooden roller coaster is really good, but you can buy a single ride pass for £2. So if you buy a ticket to get in and then you fancy going on the wooden roller coaster, which you can go on, you can just pay £2 to go on that. It's a lot more cost effective and you won't be let down. Don't go to Liseberg if you want to go on rides as a wheelchair user because it's not the best for accessibility. The park itself was pretty good on accessibility. I mean, all the stands are accessible. There are accessible toilets which are really nice and big, and I had grab rails, etc. But the actual rides weren't, so make sure you have that in mind. If you just want to go to Christmas markets and enjoy, do it. It's a really nice, pretty place to go. But yeah, if you're going there for the rides, it's not the best. And number 4, Gothenburg in general. How accessible was it? I thought Gothenburg was actually quite accessible in terms of being a city. Obviously every city has its good and bad parts. It wasn't the best accessible city I've ever seen, but it was pretty good as standards go. I mean, there were a lot of cobblestones, which isn't great because if you don't have something like a freewheel, a tri-ride or a batek, you might struggle with your casters getting stuck. So I would recommend taking one of those 3 things if you have it, and because the pavements can be uneven as well. But there is areas of the city which are all pedestrian, so it makes it a bit easier. In terms of shops and restaurants, there is a modern side of Gothenburg which has like all the modern shops you would expect, like Zara and Ronson Green and Adidas and all of that, and you can go in those shops absolutely fine. They have lifts, they have accessible entrances, they're nice and big. There is areas of the city, for example Haga, which is a really pretty area of the city that is older, which means that there are a lot of steps into shops. The shops are quite small, so you don't fit in them or you're crashing into stuff, and that's a bit more of a difficult area to go to. It was really nice to go to that area and see it because it was really pretty. There's definitely, if you want to stay in the more accessible side there, the city centre and the more modern area is the place to be, and that is around the area of Kungsportsplatsen. So there is also trams around the city, and the trams are accessible. A lot of them have drop down. They either drop down or there's a ramp onto them, so you can get onto them nice and easily, and there's stops for them all over the city. There are buses as well, which are also wheelchair accessible. They also have things like hearing aids for people who have hearing difficulties, and also for people who are maybe a guide dog user or a cane user and have visual impairment. Their zebra crossings and all the roads have kind of like dingers on the crossing, so it tells you it's safe to stop because it makes like a ding 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 noise, so you know when to stop. Okay, that is my review of Gothenburg. If you are going to Gothenburg or have any questions about it, please do let me know in the comments. If you've been, let me know also whether it's accessible related or not. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the video. Over 95% of people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. If you hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it, you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. I make content like this all the time based on accessibility, wheelchairs, disability awareness, and also other fun things. Okay, so I'll see you guys next week with a Christmas film video. I hope you guys are getting in the Christmas spirit. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Alright, love you guys. Goodbye.